serving us today. I hope everyone enjoys the delicious food. I would like to recognize the public officials who are with us. Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo, Jorge Elorza, Mayor of Providence, and James Dioza, Mayor of Central Falls. Year Up is so grateful for the generous support of our graduation sponsors. First of all, our presenting sponsors, Covidien and Hasbro, our platinum sponsor, G-Tech, our gold sponsors, CVS Health and Lifespan, our silver sponsors, Amica, my people, Stop and Shop and Swarovski, our bronze sponsors, Alex and Ani, who gave our class custom charms. Thank you to my mentor, thank you to my mentor, Nikki Mayer, Vice President of Charity by Design, and Carolyn Rafaelian, founder and CEO, for making that happen. Beacon Mutual Insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island, Care New England, Cox Communications, Gilbane, Lock Lord Edwards, Navigate Credit Union, Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, Nortec, Residential Properties, Signet Investment Advisory Group, and Zymedica, and our education sponsor, Bank of America. Thank you all so much. Your investment in my colleagues and I is the reason why we are all here today. My name is Samantha Rivera, and I'm a proud member of this graduating class. I became pregnant with my daughter, Mila. Statistics will tell you that this was predestined because my mother had me when she was 15. What statistics won't tell you is that I would join Year Up, be enrolled full-time in college, or that I would be excelling in the program and interning at the HR department at Amica. I'm not saying that statistics lie, but what I am saying is that statistics don't know me. My story at Year Up began at a time when I felt like everyone was staring more at my stomach and less at my face because I was pregnant. I was at one of the lowest points of my life. I had lost my apartment. I didn't have means to provide for my daughter. And I had to put my pride aside and apply for assistance. I almost stopped dreaming. Some say there are opportunities around every corner. My opportunity happened to be at 40 Fountain Street here in downtown Providence. Year Up taught me that despite being a young mother, I could still have dreams. But more importantly, they taught me how to set SMART goals to reach them. Year Up structure, combined with my motivation, determination, and drive, has been the recipe for my success. Along the way, I realized that by chasing a dream of my own, I was giving my daughter permission to do the same. If it weren't for Year Up and the high support I received, I would have still felt lost. It's because of people like you who see potential in us before we do, much like our next speaker, that we all sit in this room with bright futures ahead of us. I have the opportunity to introduce a woman who is fierce in her support of me and my colleagues. I remember her cheering me on when I first had the opportunity to speak publicly. She introduced me that day, and today, I feel honored to be able to introduce our Executive Director, Megan Hughes, to the stage.
Thank you, Samantha. you were even better today than last fall. Wow, we filled the room even with the blizzard. Thank you. Class 19, please stand and be recognized. Welcome to you, to your families, your friends, your mentors, and your supervisors. Today is to celebrate you. So I asked the Year Up team to tell me what made them proudest of you, and what follows is a very partial selection of what they said. Like Samantha, 14 of you are parents. Most of you hold second jobs on top of being full-time Year Up interns. One of you was in a bad car accident early in your internship. You were hospitalized and then had to go to physical therapy 3 times a week just after work. You never complained, and Amika has just hired you as a full-time employee. One of you really struggled to even make it through the first part of our program, the L&D phase. Time management was a struggle. You made a commitment to yourself, to your internship partner, worked incredibly hard there, and are now one of the first in your class to earn a full-time job at Blue Cross Blue Shield. One of you had a family member back in the DR who was a victim of a violent crime. You flew there, stayed for a few days, took a red-eye back, went straight to work. You now work for Covidien. And one of you has just lost your grandmother, the woman who raised you. You visit her Christmas Day on Long Island. We're back at work at CVS on the 26th. We know just how proud you've made her. Then I read this email from Peter Van Sciver, and it really hit home, the seeming modesty of it and the big payoff. Peter wrote to me, "My advisory group did not have major earth-shattering wins, although day to day, the little things added up." This is just one example he shared. Miriam received feedback halfway through internship that she needed to be more confident on the phones. She took the feedback, acted on it, and now is hired at Swarovski. So when I think of Miriam's story and the outcome, I know that every single one of you has at least one victory like this one. You committed to everything that Year Up is, and 1 year later, you are either already hired or deeply into the interview process. I'm so proud of Miriam and for all that you have all accomplished. Class 19, you graduate today with an impressive 83% retention rate, and you are already employed, at least as of, I think, 7:30 this morning, at a rate of 53%. So here's what that means. In retention, that places you a close second by less than 1% to our sister site in New York City, and first in Year Up nationally with employment. So why am I talking about those numbers? It's now, I think, an oft-remarked joke that my team and I are competitive and we like to be first. But that's not the only reason I'm sharing them with you. Here's why they matter. They send a message to Rhode Island companies of your talent and Year Up's talent. By demonstrating the tenacity and intelligence it takes to graduate and to get a job, you are paving the road for them. That's Class 20. So I thank you. Thank you for working so hard. as many in this room know, Year Up lost a beloved graduate, Mockford Men, in a car accident last Saturday. Tonight will be his wake, and tomorrow morning, his funeral. Mockford graduated in July of 2013, completed his internship at Amica on Bob Arnold's team, and was employed as an IT technician for BJ's corporate office. Mockford was a leader within our community, and his story of converting a difficult adolescence to a future filled with real possibility is one many in this room know as their own. We at Year Up remain stunned by the news of his death, and we send our loving and deep sympathy to his family and everyone in our community who loved him. Since the news, we've had an outpouring of calls from people who connected to Mockford. Calls from graduates, a call from Deborah Gist, calls from those who Mockford made an indelible impression on. There's a big hole in the fabric where he once was, and we miss him. So in preparing my remarks for today, I went back to my old graduation speeches for guidance. And I'm sure one of my friends here will have a message in this, which you can share with me later. I found last year's where I talked about 4 key principles that guide my work, and now I'm down to 2. I don't know if I'm getting smarter or dumber. We can talk about it offline. Class 19, as you embark on your professional careers, consider how each of these 2 might relate to your own goals and really simply to how you see living your lives. First, and one that comes very naturally to me, be impatient. So you say, what's the rush, Megan? Why should we be impatient? I want you to be impatient to grow and to develop. I want you to be impatient to earn that first professional job, get that first promotion, earn that associate's degree, earn that BA, buy your first house, send your kids to college. I want you to be impatient to succeed, because that impatience is what will close the opportunity divide. Most of you have heard those words, opportunity divide. They are what we at Year Up use to describe the chasm that separates the talented young adults we serve from the socioeconomic mainstream they so desperately want to join. Here are the 3 reasons we should be impatient. Our country is in crisis. Poverty and extreme poverty are rising. In Rhode Island, 47,000 children live in poverty, and our poverty is concentrated in our cities, claiming 1 in 3 children in Providence, Pawtucket, and Central Falls. So that's poverty defined by the federal government to be an annual income of less than $19,000 for a family of 3. That is the financial reality of the young adults we serve. At 7% unemployment, Rhode Island continues to rank near the top nationally. For young adults of color, we know that that number is at least 4 times that. Here's the second reason to be impatient, to close this opportunity divide. Our companies need workers, and right now, America is not training enough of them. Unless we fix that fast, we will most certainly fall behind the emerging giants in China, India, Brazil, and elsewhere. Here's the final reason to be impatient. Because it's the right thing to do, and our country, while it is not perfect, has a proud history of doing the right thing, and at least some of the time of doing it fast. In Martin Luther King's letter from a Birmingham jail, the piece of writing that guides me like no other, Dr. King talks about the virtue of impatience. In the letter, he talks about the civil rights movement and its impatience for change, its impatience for justice. And he rightly identifies that the energy within impatience is necessary to drive that change. So, Class 19, when there's something really important at stake, push for it. Be impatient to advance. Do what it takes for that to happen. Work harder than anyone else. Stay later. Ask your boss for more work. Go back to school. If you do these things, you will truly be closing this hateful opportunity divide. think I'll give a minute for folks just to sit, and we'll keep going. We're going to get to my second guiding principle. Right? Aren't you curious what the other two were? We can talk about that after. Second guiding principle, say thank you. To do anything really meaningful, we do it together. So it's the quote on Marlin's wall. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Saying thank you and really meaning it is a powerful emblem of this togetherness. So say thank you to those people in your life who are helping you live a life of meaning and of possibility. Today is my last graduation as Europ's Executive Director, and I want to say thank you to our founder who's here today, Gerald Tertavian. Thank you, Gerald, for creating Europe, for serving 10,000 young adults around our country, for having a relentless belief in their potential, and for taking a big chance on me. I've learned so much. I've loved every day, even the hard ones. Thank you to every corporate partner who did more, took more interns, hired more alums, gave us more financial support, and provided more mentors and other volunteers than you ever thought would be possible. You know who you are. I see you all. We call you in the 11th hour needing something, and invariably you find a way to say yes. It is this willingness to say yes to clear barriers that is truly changing this state and our country. Thank you to our board for helping us to identify new relationships, to close more seats, to get more of our graduates employed. I have truly never seen one like ours. You roll up your sleeves, mentor our young adults, worry about them, listen to them, celebrate their victories, and tell our story to the most powerful people in this state. Most especially, thank you to my dear friend and board chair, Ted Fisher, who has sat right beside me and our team, who gives so many hours, and who makes sure our young adults get the opportunities they've earned. So one of the deepest learnings, maybe this is the third principle, I've taken from this work, is that in its finest demonstration, we all get to be our best selves. That person that our grandmother always believed we were. Our students get to show what they can do, and the rest of us, this Rhode Island community, we get to grow and nurture them. And I want to thank every single person in this room for that. Thank you to all of our volunteers, our tutors, our mentors, our coaches, and our donors. If you look at that graduation booklet, there are hundreds of names. That's how we get this work done. That's how we get the outcomes we have. You come to our site daily, and you help us do our work better. We know it's a commitment, and we are very, very grateful. Now to the Europe team. My father gave me courage. I knew he had my back. When I was scared, when I didn't think I could succeed, he'd sit me down and break it down into small parts. Though he died 14 years ago, his is still the voice I hear when I need to make a big decision that requires courage. He made me believe I could do anything. Everyone needs that person. For our young adults, sometimes it is a parent or a grandparent, a sibling or a teacher. For some of them, they arrive at our site without that person. And here's what happens. Someone on my team becomes that person. I have lunches every week, a couple times a week, with our students. And I ask at least one question the same every time, and it's this one. If Gerald called me, I actually do this layup. I say, if Gerald called me and said, you have 24 hours, you have to let go of everything in the program, and you get to keep one thing, what's the one thing? And I ask every student the same question. The answer I get, more than any other answer, is the support. And more than any other example of that support, it's our team. So I'm going to share just two stories to illustrate it. The first I can tell in 3 sentences. I asked that question last week, And one young woman answered, "My advisor. I'd keep my advisor. When I had nowhere else to sleep, she offered to have me live in her apartment." Second story is about getting one of our young adults with near perfect points, but one challenging barrier, into an internship. Kathy Doyle runs our internships, and I saw firsthand the calls she made and the emails she wrote. She just wouldn't relent until she moved the barrier. As she talked with our student about what was happening, the student said to her, "You don't need to put your name down for me. No one else ever has before." And I think it's those words that sealed the deal for Kathy. She didn't sleep until she worked closely with one of our board members, who she tracked on various flights around the country, until she got that student placed. That student is now about to begin an internship with one of our major partners she spent the last 5 months preparing to do. At Year Up, we consider it the most basic part of what we do. We put our names down for our young people. This is the team we have. You arrive early, teach supplementary classes before much of Rhode Island is out of bed, and you never turn your phones off. Our young adults arrive with a ton of grit of their own, and they see it played out in action every day by the most committed and high-performing team I've ever seen. You inspire me every day, and I thank you. Please stand to be recognized. So I'm at the end now, class 19. When graduation concludes this morning, you will join the 606 alums of Year Up Rhode Island. Congratulations, we are so proud of you. Remember what I've said, be impatient, say thank you. One more thing, come back to 40 Fountain Street, we will miss you. Thank you very much. Wow. That was incredible. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kathy Doyle, Senior Director of Corporate Engagement.
And I'm Bobby Gondola, Senior Director of Operations and Development. And today we have the pleasure of kicking off the awards portion of our program.
Class 19, you began your internship 72 interns strong across 25 different corporate partners.
And that's our highest level of corporate partner engagement ever.
And today you graduate with an almost 92% internship retention rate. And we could not have done this or achieved this work without every single one of you.
So before recognizing some very special individuals, we want to recognize and thank our committed corporate partners, incredible influencers, spectacular supervisors. Wow, Megan loves alliterative names, that interactive. And all of you who have helped open up opportunities and supported us and our young adults each and every step of the way. Thank you.
We also have the pleasure of welcoming to the Year Up family 3 new Class 19 corporate partners. So to Alex and Ani, to Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, and to the Washington Trust Company, welcome and thank you for giving Christian, Soren, Nicole, and Sylvia the opportunity to prove themselves at your fantastic organizations.
Our first award is the 0 to 60 award, which is presented annually to a new corporate partner who has jumped in and embraced us, collaborating with Year Up on all 5 of our strategic platforms.
1,
Internship seats,
2,
hiring,
3,
mentoring,
4,
volunteering,
5.
investing, also known as the High Five. It's on the back of your program.
We're so excited and happy to tell you a little bit about this year's winner, Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island.
We've known them barely a year, and yet it feels like we've worked with them forever. With their mission and values focused on creating access to health care and treatment for individuals through compassion and respect, we've found that they've exhibited this same philosophy in welcoming Year Up and our young adults into their organization in every way possible.
When Megan and I first met with Lisa Whiting and Brenda Williams, they concluded our meeting by saying they wanted to work with us and they wanted to do it right. And what they meant by doing it right was getting us involved in every level of the organization and getting every level of the organization to know us and to have a stake in our partnership. So let's talk about how that translates to our High Five. Internships. They welcomed 2 Class 19 interns for the very first time 6 months ago, both Soren Pepp and Nicole Rossi. And both of those interns graduate today with full-time offers from Neighborhood Health. Additionally, 3 Class 20 interns started their internship journeys on Monday, and we're so excited. Let's talk about hiring. Neighborhood Health has partnered really closely with Peter Van Stiver and our team to use our young adults as a diverse source of talent for their organization. In the last 15 months, they've hired 15 of our alums. That's fantastic.
Mentoring. First, I want to thank all of our mentors that are here in the room. If all the mentors can please stand and be recognized. This is an incredible group of leaders here in our state. And we're lucky that at Neighborhood, we have both their CIO, Jeff Meyer, and their COO, Shanta Diaz, both serving as mentors for this class. Volunteering. Neighborhood recently hosted Class 20, the class that began their internships this week, on a visit to their site. CEO Peter Marino, who is here with us today, took time out of his hectic schedule to address us. Even more impactful is the personal care that every member of the Neighborhood team puts into their relationship with Year Up, whether one of our interns, alum, or member of our team. Brenda and the team connect with us and talk about growth opportunities, employment, and our future. When we have professional development days, it's no surprise that the Neighborhood team members sign up as volunteers. They're truly invested and they're incredible. Finally, investing. In addition to their generosity of time, Neighborhood are sponsors, like many of you are, for today's event. So we're just appreciative of their careful investment in our program.
So to our great friends and partners at Neighborhood Health of Rhode Island, in sincere appreciation for your extraordinary partnership with Year Up, dedicating yourselves to helping us close the opportunity divide, it's our honor and our pleasure to present this year's 0 to 60 award. I would love to invite Peter, Brenda, Lisa to the stage to accept the award. talk about our Supervisor of the Year award, we would kindly ask all Class 19 supervisors to stand and be recognized. You're on the ground with our young adults every single day. You manage, mentor, coach, guide, and do so much more. And we're all so appreciative.
So it's hard to select just one supervisor to recognize. So this morning, we've decided to recognize two.
And we're going to invite their interns to the stage now to tell their stories. Thank you.
My name is Kayla Hernandez, and I am a member of Class 19. Today, I had the pleasure of interning at Gilbane's Finance and Accounting Department, and today I have the pleasure of awarding my supervisor, Daylise Shakespeare, as the Supervisor Award of the Year. Daylise is more than a supervisor to me. She's been a mentor and a woman I could look up to. As a mother to and working part-time while attending Year Up, I have been able to admire and had the support of my supervisor. She is incredibly understanding and quick to offer a helping hand. I faced many challenges outside of Year Up, and Daylise was always there for me. Daylise works hard and she is dedicated, not only to Gilbane, but to me. She made time to sit with me and give me constant feedback, and she's always there, willing to extend a helping hand. When I expressed my interest in HR, she was more than willing to reach out to our HR department and connected me to our director. Daylise made my own growth her priority, and today I am ready to start the career ahead of me. Thank you, Daylise. I am excited to have my friend and colleague, Amaryllis, present our next award.
My name is Amaryllis Medina, and I interned at Beacon Mutual Insurance in the HR department. It is an honor to present the Outstanding Supervisor Award to Pam Allery, VP of HR. Pam has been in my corner from day one. She has been a coach, a mentor, and a terrific example of a successful businesswoman. Pam always makes time to listen to me. As I reflect on the past year, one moment stands out that reveals Pam's commitment to my success. I'm the proud mom of 2 children, and Christmas was very special for us this year. Pam, thank you for your generosity and for going beyond your professional responsibility to me. It made the holiday one to remember. Pam has been more than a supervisor to me. She has been the model mother and career woman I aspire to be. Thank you, Pam. We'd like to invite Daylise and Pam to the stage to accept the Outstanding Supervisor Award.
So Francesca and I have the joy of co-introducing our new governor. I'm going to share two very quick stories and then turn it over to Francesca. I think a true mark of someone's character is what they do when no one's looking. And so we have our governor in the room today with many hundreds of people, so you see her here and you see her commitment. The story I'm going to tell is 2 weeks old, where we had our alumni reunion at a restaurant in Providence. There was no press there were no, I'll just describe them as fancy people there. It was just us, our Year Up family, and she showed up. So I think it says a great deal about her character and her commitment to Year Up that she does that. My second story involves our governor. I had gotten off of a red-eye flight. I was in Seattle. I was locked in a hotel room writing a speech that I was giving, I think, that afternoon. And I got a call on my cell phone. I'm not sure she introduced herself, but she said something like, so Francesca's worked incredibly hard at Gilbane, and they really need to hire her, and that hasn't happened yet. So I think I'm just going to pick up the phone and call, like Tom or Paul. And so I realized in the telling who she was, and took a deep breath and said something like, you know, why don't you give Francesca in Europe just a couple of days to work through the process, and then if that doesn't work, we'll get back to you. So with that, I consider ourselves extremely fortunate to have her as one of our own, and I will turn the microphone over to Francesca to say the rest.
Good morning. My name is Francesca Rodriguez, and I am a graduate of Year Up. I am a mother working full-time at Gilbane as a systems coordinator for engineering. I am also attending CCRI for engineering. I am honored to be here to introduce the Governor of Rhode Island and my mentor, Gina Raimondo. Gina, when I first met you, you walked in the room so powerful and humble. I knew there was so much I could learn from you. I knew I had to take advantage of that moment. And when I asked you to be my mentor, you said no without hesitating. Even though you knew you were so busy with the election, you took the time out for me, and for that, I am forever grateful. Being a mother, it's been crazy to see you transition through the Treasury and being the governor, and I'm so happy to be a part of that journey. Thank you for being there for me. I look up to you as a businesswoman, a mother, and now the leader of our state. Thank you.
Francesca, I am so proud of you. She's an amazing young woman, and she's going to continue to do great things. By the way, to be clear, I said yes without hesitating. So good morning. I love being here with you. Lots of energy, optimism, and commitment in this room. Thank you, Megan. Thank you for your leadership. Let's give Megan another hand. Who is here, who is a terrific partner of mine, and together we're going to move this state forward. Thank you, Mayor. And to Gerald, who is a friend and who is a visionary. Your work's amazing, and we're going to keep it going here in Rhode Island. So thank you, and all of you, all of you. But today is really about the graduates. Today is about the graduates, and my message to the graduates is today's your day. Feel proud, feel accomplished. You earned it, and it was not easy. So know that as your governor, I'm proud of you, and just take a moment today, take it all in, and enjoy it. And to your family, who here is a family member of a graduate? Raise your hand. Yeah, right on, give them a hand. Support of family and friends who took care of you when times were tough and pushed you through it. Now, my connection to Year Up is one of a partnership that grew into a mentorship that grew into a friendship. I first started to get involved with Year Up, I guess a couple years ago. As treasurer, as you know, I am committed to financial literacy. And I started a financial literacy program, and we brought it to Year Up. And Fidelity was the sponsor. It was a program where we provided one-on-one coaching, and we wanted to provide that to all the members of Year Up. So we went to launch this program, which continues today. In fact, it continues and has expanded. They have one-on-one financial coaching with each of the students, which is fantastic. But when I was there talking about this financial literacy program, Francesca, who I did not know at the time, walked right up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Francesca. Will you be my mentor?" And you have to understand this. I wasn't there to sign up to be a mentor. I was there as the treasurer talking about financial literacy. But God bless her, she walked right up to me and said, I know a lot about, and she did, she knew a lot about me. She said, "I think you'd be terrific. Will you be my mentor?" So there was only one answer, which was yes, which I did. And it was through this mentorship that I really got to know Francesca, who is an amazing young woman, like many of you graduates who are here today. She is a mom and has a gorgeous little baby, Layla, who she is totally devoted to, a single mom. She graduated top of her class in IT and is totally determined to provide a good future for herself and for her daughter. And I have to tell you, I have been humbled to support you and help you achieve your goals. And I'll tell you, you may not know this, Francesca, but during the campaign, you know, I'm a working mom. I have 2 kids. I was the treasurer and running for governor. There were a lot of long days, 7 days a week. And sometimes I come home and I say, "Oof, this is tough." And I would say, if Francesca can do it, I can do it. So you inspired me to keep going. And every one of you in here, every one of you graduates, I want you to know that. Because it's a mutual thing. We watch you. If you can get through the day and hold down a job and take classes and take care of your kids, well, we can do that too. And that's what this is all about. So it is true, as Megan said, at the end of her, so here's this amazing woman, goes through the program, top of her class, and comes out without a job. So we were at the Year Up graduation. It was her graduation whenever we did this 6 months ago. And she doesn't have a job. We sat right there at that table, and Francesca was seated, somewhat strategically, next to Tom Gilbane. And I sat there and I watched the whole thing. It was like a thing of beauty. She reaches over to him, she puts her hand out, she introduces herself to him. He says, you know, "Tell me about your dreams, tell me about your goals." And flat out she says, I work for you, I want a job in IT, and then I want to go to college. You know what? She's now a full-time employee at Gilbane and on her way, going to be going to college. And she's doing a heck of a job there. She's a terrific employee in IT, and I have no doubt will go to college. So what's the message of this, and what is my message to you today? My message is, speak up and don't give up. Speak up and don't give up. If you know what you want to do, if you have your goals, speak up. Whoever's sitting next to you at breakfast this morning could be an enabler of your goals. That was Francesca's story. Whoever is sitting next to you tonight at dinner or tomorrow when you're doing whatever could be an enabler of your goals. So speak up and don't you ever give up. And we're not going to give up on you. I got to tell you, you are all very smart. All you graduates are very smart. I know that. And Francesca is very smart. Let me tell you something. Smart people are a dime a dozen, and I've known a lot of them. Let me tell you what's special that you have. Determination, grit, and tenacity. Don't ever lose those. And I know you have them because you're graduating today. It's not enough to be smart, although you are that. You have something much more precious. So hold on to that forever. Now I have a little challenge of my own in front of me. which is to turn around the state of Rhode Island. Yeah, you're all nodding. I got that. I got that. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm not doing it on my own, people. I'm not doing it on my own. Every single person in this room has a role to play in the comeback of Rhode Island. And that means all of you graduates who are the talent that are going to fuel this economy, and all of you corporate sponsors who are key players in this economy who are going to have to dig in to help us dig out of the mess we're in. So every one of you on the way home or to work on your way to work this morning, I want you to be driving home saying, what role can I play in the great comeback of this economy? Because that's the only way we're going to get this done. And I've said we got to do three things. We have to build skills, we have to attract businesses and entrepreneurs, and we have to innovate. Build skills is what you're doing all day, every day. And you are very definitely the brains of the future. I think Megan told me that the economic power of this class is $1.5 million. We need more of that. You're the ones. We need to figure out how to partner with corporations. What do you need? We'll skill these people and you hire them. That's exactly what you're doing. We need to attract. We need, you know, a government that's customer friendly, taxes that aren't through the roof, regulations that are reasonable. And we're going to do that, and we need to innovate. And that includes innovate in state government. That means, Brian and I were just chatting about this, every other institution in the world is performance-based. You get paid if you perform, except government. And I think it's time to change that. And that's really important. To a much more robust partnership between the state and Year Up to continue to train folks and to begin that model of kind of a truly outcome-oriented government. And I am excited to work with Year Up and really blow that out as we go forward, because I love your focus on outcomes that you've had. My vision for Rhode Island is very consistent with Year Up's vision. I have a very simple vision. My vision is to make Rhode Island a place of opportunity. It ought to be a place of opportunity. My catchphrase is, you ought to be able to make it in Rhode Island. You don't have to go to Massachusetts or Connecticut or California. Make it right here in Rhode Island. And that's a place of opportunity. How many of you graduates in this room, you have the talent, you have the drive, you just needed a chance. You needed an opportunity to shine. You needed skills and an opportunity. Right? Can you relate to that? Just give me a chance and I can do it. So that's what we have to make Rhode Island, the land of opportunity for all people, which means good skills and good jobs. So what I'm going to do as your governor is work as hard as I can, speak up, and not give up. And I'm going to ask you to do the same. And in partnership, as improbable as it may have seemed for some of you to be graduates and full-time employed, you did it, right? You did it, and you're going to go on to do great things. And as improbable as it may seem that we're going to turn this economy around, we are going to do it, and you got a role to play. So thank you, Francesca, for your inspiration. Thank you, Year Up, for all you've done, and let's get going. Before I go on to my day job, I can't leave without giving special recognition to Megan and Year Up. This year is the 10th year anniversary of Year Up in Rhode Island. And so I'd like Megan to come up here. I have a citation from the governor to Year Up in recognition of your 10 years of service and special recognition to Megan. You make Year Up, you make Rhode Island a stronger place to be, and I can't thank you enough for your commitment. So thank you and congratulations on 10 years.
Governor Raimondo, Year Up is grateful for your growing partnership in helping to close the opportunity divide. Thank you for making time for our organization, and most especially, thank you for making time for our young adults. Well, good morning. My name is Marlon Ramdahal, the Associate Director of Program, and I serve as Program Manager for Learning Community 2. I am privileged to kick off the Student Awards, which recognize 4 students voted by their peers for having demonstrated exceptional leadership and excellence. From Learning Community 2, the winner of the Leadership Award is Candace Moran. Candace, please join me on stage and receive the award. Candace leads by example. She maintained perfect contract points throughout the program. This means she has never been late or missed a single day over the past year. Her IT instructor has described her as the most motivated and passionate student he has ever had. She has built her own website for a photography company, and she has excelled at her internship at FM Global. It's no surprise that she has been hired to stay on full-time at FM Global. We are so proud of you, Candace, for your leadership. Winner of the Learning Community 2 Excellence Award is Brendan Meenan. Brendan, please join me on stage. Brendan is the definition of a team player, completed his internship at Fidelity, and just 2 weeks ago, he presented to the CIO of Fidelity Investments at his office in Boston. Brendan took advantage of every single networking opportunity, often volunteering to support Year Up. Most memorably, he worked the Facts and Friends golf tournament this past fall. For those that know Brendan, it is by no surprise that Fidelity decided to keep him on the team as one of their newest full-time hire. Brendan, we are so proud of you. Congratulations to you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alicia Hartley, and I'm the Program Manager for Learning Community 2, and I have the pleasure of presenting the last 2 final awards. First, the winner of the Leadership Award is Victor Rosado. Victor stood out as a leader since the early days of the program, as I'm sure you can tell. He's been an active student supporting our events and representing the Year Up program to donors and corporate partners. He performed well in his classes, he volunteered his time, and he is a young man with more charisma than I've ever met. Victor completed his internship at Hasbro on their community relations team, and he spoke at our annual party held there this fall. He's still on the job hunt, so feel free to pull his resume from the books on your table. He can now add this award there. Congratulations, Victor. And finally, my standing before you serves a dual purpose, as our Excellence Award winner for LC1 goes to the Class 19 graduation speaker who happens to be next in our program. I ask that you join me in welcoming Christian Moore to the stage to accept the Class 19 Excellence Award. From the moment Christian stepped foot on site, his colleagues naturally gravitated towards him. It likely was not his style, though he is well known for his bow ties and suspenders, but also the kindness of his heart, which he brought with him to Alex and Ani. I remember when I saw him realize his full potential as his confidence grew throughout the program. We're so proud of you, Christian, and we can't wait to hear from you this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Before I start my speech, I just wanted to let you know that, as a couple of you might have assumed that, I've looked up probably about 1 million videos about how to deal with anxiety, and it surprises me just the amount of crazy things they will tell you to do about tensing your muscles and breathing out, and I think I could testify that they don't really work too well. To tell you the truth, I never imagined being in front of you today. Until this point, I've spent my entire life trying to blend in. I was born in a small town in Mexico and came to the US before I could even remember. My family came here in the pursuit of a better life. Not to be handed it, but to work hard for the opportunities that this great country has to offer. You see, I never wanted to be given an advantage. I only wanted to be on the same playing field as everyone else. As an immigrant, early on I taught myself to remain in the shadows and to aim low for the quality of my life. I was so afraid to voice my opinion because my fear was that if I attracted too much attention to myself, there was a possibility that my family could pay the price. I guess you could say I never really dreamed big before. You could even go as far as saying I was afraid to. Before Europe, I worked long hours as a server in a restaurant a few blocks from here. While I enjoyed working in a fast-paced environment, I felt like I was in quicksand. I desperately wanted to better myself, but no matter how hard I worked, I never felt like I was moving forward. I had heard about Europe through friends who had graduated, and one day George Nippo and Bobby Gondola, who most of you already know, were having lunch in the restaurant where I worked and encouraged me to apply. I did it, and I was accepted. Thanks again for the tip, guys. Right when I began Europe, I could feel that things would be different. For the first time, I was in an environment where I didn't feel afraid to speak up. I'll never forget my third week of class. A good comparison to how I was feeling that day would be to that of drowning. I was suffocating with the idea that maybe the program was too much. Like there's no way I would be able to get through all my challenges in and out of Europe. My plan since I woke up that morning was to march into Europe and quit. To simply give up and give in to the idea that had been pushed on me since I was 7 years old. That because of where I was born, it was unlikely that I would succeed in anything more than manual labor. But on that day, I did something that I never thought I would feel comfortable enough to do. I reached out to my teacher and asked if she had some time to sit down and talk. And I remember she pulled 2 chairs aside without hesitation and heard me out. You see, I believe that we don't always notice the little things in life that people do for us and how much of a difference it makes. For the first time in my life, I began to believe that I deserved to be here. I've gained so much from my time at Europe that extends beyond the skills that better prepared us for our future careers. I've gained my Class 19 family, the remarkable staff at Europe, an inspiring mentor, and the most amazing individuals for my internship at Alex and Ani, Charity by Design. These individuals have shown me what it really means to be accepted and treated equally. They taught me that we all have something unique about us, and if we collectively put these efforts towards a common good, we have the power to make the world a better place. Today marks an amazing milestone in the journey of my life and the lives of my classmates. We have all proven that we are talented, diverse, and skilled, that we have the drive to exceed any company's expectations. Today only serves as justice because my classmates and I know that this day has been in the making long before today. It was in the making when some of us were working 2 jobs just to make enough money to be poor. It was made in the moments when coming home to the tears of a parent holding an eviction notice. It was made in the moments where we thought that we would never become anything, not because we were defective or lacked the skills, but because we had allowed society into making us think that we were not good enough. These obstacles and others were the fuel that brought us here today, and they drive us to succeed. Never again will I be embarrassed of the struggles I've overcome to be here today. I wear them proudly on the sleeves of my arm as a reminder to myself and others that I can achieve what statistics say I can. Success, what I once thought unattainable, is real. You see, Europe has given me something that I thought I had lost a long time ago. Courage. Courage to pursue the happiness that I know each and every one of us is entitled to, regardless of race, income, gender, or religion. Courage to believe that your future is not decided based on what street you grew up on or the color of your skin, but instead, the amount of hard work and determination you're willing to put into things to reaching your goals. I'm sure everyone in this room can attest to what it takes to succeed. So I'm asking you to remember those moments in your lives where fear turned into power, and know that this journey has been exactly that. I admit, I don't have all the answers, but what I do have now is the courage to pursue them. I wanted to share a little surprise with you, and to my team as well. My biggest dream ever since I got to Alex and Ani was to remain a part of their community. And now I will be.
So if I could ask the board to come up and get to my left here, and we'll just start the process here. So I walked by the best man in my wedding, who's still my best man because I forgot my reading glasses and he had them. I used to ask him for different things, but as we approach 50, it's reading glasses. So my name's Ted Fisher. For those of you that do not know me, I am honored to be here as the chairman of the Rhode Island Board. And my contract clearly states that I never follow a student speaker, and it seems that I always follow a student speaker. So I bring my napkin now. I used to try and hide that I was crying. Now I just kind of bring it up worth throwing out there. So every graduation I get 30 seconds less to speak, and I tend to speak 30 seconds more. So I'm going to be really good today for Bobby because he wants me to be. But there's not much more that needs to be said. This is one of the most amazing organizations, programs, communities that any of us have ever been part of. And it is because of all of you. And so my broad thank yous are to every single person in this room, especially our graduates today, because you are the legacy, you are the inspiration. Get a class over to my right here, one of my mentees I think is in there. Christian, he's at Alex and Ani, I think, so you better take care of him while he's over there. Needs a little guidance there, Irving. I have to think about what I wear when Irving's in the room because he's so sharp. I mean, so I gotta think about it. So it's about our graduates today, but I have a couple quick thank yous. And one is to the group to my left, which is Megan already recognized. This board is made of the most committed, inspired, passionate folks I've ever been around. There's nothing that they will not do to ensure that our young adults are successful. And better than that, they just continually talk about the incredible value that they get being associated with our young adults, whether it's through mentoring, whether it's through internships, whether it's through the hiring process. I just recently joined Hasbro as an employee, and the first person I saw was a year up student on their internship, like, hey, Ted Fisher, what are you doing here? And I was like, I came to see you. So, Gerald, what you've created is, I think, continuing to be one of what will be the greatest opportunities for all of us to connect around this issue that I've ever seen. And I thank you for your vision, your leadership, and the last person that, and I don't have time to properly thank Megan today, and there will be plenty of celebrations to celebrate the amazing leadership that Megan has provided, but I think most of you know that we're kind of like a brother-sister team. It's kind of a funny relationship, and she's often yelling at me about something, but as this is the last graduation she'll attend as the executive director, I am thrilled to tell you that the minute that tenure ends, she will be standing over there as one of our board members. So that is one of the great joys for our board. The response that I hear, or the statement I hear about Megan, no matter what context it is in, is, how do you say no to Megan? So, as I've said many times before, the great words that I have learned that have made my life better over the last 5 years are yes, Megan. But I have never worked with or been fortunate enough to be associated with a more inspirational, passionate, committed, authentic leader. And Megan, you have brought Europe, Providence, to a place that we will grow from, but the leaps and bounds that we have made under your leadership are something that everybody in this room so appreciates. And on behalf of this board and Europe, Providence, I want to just give you the most heartfelt thank you for all that you've done. So today is about class 19, class 20. Take notice here, you got big shoes to fill. Continue to inspire us, continue to be, as the governor pointed out, the future of Rhode Island. We need you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Now we get to the part where we all came to celebrate the folks that are lining up to my right. My name is George Nipple. I'm the Program and Academic Director at Europe Providence, and it's now with great pleasure that I get ready to announce the names of the Class 17 graduates this morning. Thank you, Class 19. Did I say Class 17? Right, I know, Ted. I'm sorry. Class 19 is where we are this morning. Before I begin, I'd like to make sure that the graduates know that it's not just your Year Up diploma that you're getting this morning. However, you're also receiving citations from Governor Raimundo, Senators Reid and Whitehouse, Congressman Cicilline and Langevin, and Providence Mayor Jorge Elorza. It's a pretty impressive portfolio you're walking out here with today. And now I say we get to it, and I'd like to welcome Brandon Adams as the first graduate this morning to the stage to receive his Christopher Avila. Victor Batista. Mohamed Dinate. Kenneth Borge. Lindsay Brown. Saulo Castillo. Hector Chavez. Ruby Cruz. Tylee Daniels. Jason Diaz. Michael Duong. Cyril Elua. Natividad Estrella. Rahim Gamboa. Sandra Garcia. Sebastian Janeo. Roxana Quiron. Justin Gomes. Zachary Gomes. Rogers Granados. Chris Nicole Hernandez Rivera. Kayla Hernandez. Vanessa Herrera. I'm sorry, Pamela Herrera. Roger In. Oh, that's right. Okay. So there's like 6 people that have the same last name in a row here. We're going through a couple of... Vanessa, thank you. Roger In. Alicia Javier. Kim Boyd. Julie Kuhn. Nathaniel Kovali. Sylvia Melgar. James Montero. Christian Mora. Carlos Morales. Candice Moran. Jonathan Navas. Tyrene Nunez. Cesar Ortiz. Miriam Ortiz. Carlos Peña. Melissa Phillips. Shahid Placide. James Ramos. Jesus Reynoso. Jordan Rivera. Samantha Rivera. Victor Rosado. Nicole Rossi. Fernando Ruiz. Junior Sanchez. Wilder Senon. Eliana Salcedo. Jocelyn Soto. Andrew Sonraj. Randy Seuss. Jordan Suazo. Kenneth Vargas. Jeremy Watts Waters. Please join me in congratulating all of this morning's Europe graduates. I welcome Samantha Rivera back to the stage, this morning Class 19 grad, to close out this morning's ceremonies.
Wow, what a year it's been. I'm going to allow Class 19 to join me on stage. There are statistics that say we were not supposed to be successful. I know that just over 1% of teen moms will earn a college degree before the age of 30. But I am a full-time student enrolled at CCRI, pursuing a communications degree, looking for full-time employment, because I want to support my daughter in our future. We are all here proving that statistics don't determine anything. We're proving that when you take a young adult with qualities that can't be taught, like determination, motivation, and perseverance, and teach them soft skills, give them hands-on experience, exposure to top companies, and most importantly, an opportunity, the potential is endless. This program is not just about getting your foot in the door. It's about holding it open for the next person. That's you, Class 20. Congratulations on beginning your internships this week. And I'll leave you with this. Prove to your corporate partner that you're worth their investment and show them your value. There are hundreds of people here rooting for you. And we're thankful for all of you here today. Companies here to provide an opportunity, donors who have made this possible, supervisors who gave hungry interns a shot, mentors who are dedicated to offering support, teachers who work tirelessly to educate us on the fundamentals of how to succeed in corporate America. Thank you. Many of you in this room didn't know me before today, but your presence alone is supporting me and the young adults like me. And with the help of Year Up, we're changing the way people think, we're proving people wrong, and we're showing them that even with some statistics against us, we will still reach success. Congratulations, Class 19, and for all in attendance this morning, on behalf of my class, we thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jordan Urrutia, and I'm the Outreach and Recruitment Coordinator here at Year Up. I'm a graduate of Year Up Providence, and I am the chair of the Year Up Providence Alumni Board. Class 19 will now join the Alumni Association, and I have the honor of leading them through the Alumni Oath. Class 19, are you ready?
Yes!
Repeat after me. I pledge that as a graduate of Year Up Providence, I will continue to support Year Up's mission and core values. I will challenge myself and fellow alumni to pursue success and strive. And strive for excellence. I will commit to being a catalyst in the social movement. In an effort to close the opportunity divide. Thank you and congratulations.